This the, ready, all set?
Yeah, go.
Board of Public Works meeting, June 17th, 2024. Tonight's agenda, we have 2 appointments. Jack McDonald, Village Signs. Jack here?
No, he is not here. His presentation is in your packet.
Okay,
I
fine.
can explain a little bit.
Okay, and then we have a presentation from the Recreation Trails Committee.
I'm Mark Scallon.
Mark. Okay, those are the 2 appointments. Action items. Board vote to accept the open meeting minutes of a number of dates. And can we discuss that?
We can discuss it all because she did amend the agenda and we have it on there, so.
Okay, and we
do
can
everything
discuss the
tonight.
open meeting complaint by Selectman Stephen Darcy. Number 2, board votes to allow agricultural group horse owners to continue to bring manure to the transfer station with no fee. Someone from here? Is there anybody here from that? Okay. Number 3, drain layer license renewal, Costello Contracting Company. So there's 3 action items. Discussion on black earth composting cost manure management for the transfer station. Is that you?
That's me.
That's you, okay, good. Okay, and then we're going to vote to accept the minutes of June 3rd, open meeting minutes. Have a superintendent's report, and our next meeting is next Monday night at Town Hall, at the high school?
Yeah.
High school, to talk about the 40B development. With that, we'll go for,
Make a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So the first item is Jack McDonald,
Yeah,
Village Signs proposal.
I will speak on behalf of him. He was here this morning, talked to Amy and I. And he's already been before the selectmen and they voted unanimously to accept his proposal. And in your packet, there's some various signs that he's looking to put up in different areas of town. They're not very big, they're like 2 feet in width and diameter. And the town seal will be on some of them.
So the folks from home, entering Marshfield.
Yep.
Don't we have an entering Marshfield sign?
Huh? What's that?
Have an entering Marshfield sign.
I mean, we have an entering Marshfield.
These are more aesthetically pleasing, like you get the Brant Rock sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, so,
And then we'll just go through and, I think it's a great idea. I mean, Marshfield's always done, is always been a series of neighborhoods and villages throughout the whole town. So, go ahead.
But that was pretty much it. It's just, he wanted to talk to you folks, but he ran to a snack tonight with his grandkids and he couldn't make it, so I told him I would speak on his behalf the best I could. And perhaps maybe you want to look over it and see what you think, and then we can talk about it next Monday, whether you want him to go forward or not, or,
I have questions.
Me too.
okay, so then he's gonna have to come to a meeting.
Right, yeah, I think he has to be here to
Okay.
answer the questions.
The questions are the sponsors.
Well, I have other questions too.
I know, but, well, that's one of them. It says he would be happy to pay, donate, to establish costs, install.
To one, he says maybe start with one sign. I would be happy to pay, donate to establish costs. Install that just for one sign.
Yeah, but these sponsors are paying.
It's not costing us anything.
No, but the sponsors
Right.
are paying for this.
So, and that's fine. If you guys have questions, then we'll just have them come into another meeting sometime.
Depends on the sponsor.
So we would act, the sign would be like adopt a island, it'd be adopt a sign program.
Pretty much type of thing.
So it's a commercial
Yeah.
proposal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, so it's a commercial proposal. Okay.
But what's it cost?
So he's setting up a corporation that's going to be doing this.
Different, like John said, different sponsors are gonna be involved. It's not gonna cost us anything. He's looking to get your blessing to put a sign up to see what it looks like.
Yeah, but this is a commercial thing, so he's starting a company, so he tends to make money from it. Because then there's like T-shirts and
Yeah,
all of that
it's-
stuff
yeah,
too.
it's-
The signs
Isn't
okay.
this something that would have to go before town meeting? I mean, we
Well,
can't
it's-
really,
The select board approved it unanimously, so.
Yes, but the, it's a DPW function for signs. And my take is, you know, what is the cost per sign? And do we want to get into a bidding war with commercial vendors?
Again, I'm just relaying
Okay.
what he had to
yeah, I mean,
show you.
I'm wondering, what if the people who live in Wrexham, where he wants to put the sign, don't want the sign there? You know what I mean? Like, you could run into all kinds of issues around this, and
Well,
it's a commercial operation, so I don't feel like you can force that on people in front of their property, or, I don't know. I mean, does he have locations picked up? Yeah, we need to have him come.
Yeah, this is a commercial
There's a lot
operation.
to this, there's a lot more to this than just
Yeah,
putting signs up to,
We had told him it would probably be best if he came, but he
Yeah.
couldn't make it today. so
right, yeah, so we'll just
I told him to give the
reschedule, I guess?
information he had, so you look at it, and if you don't like it, you
I mean, they're nice looking signs, but those would be my concerns right off the bat.
It's a commercial.
So I will get a hold of him,
It's
because he left his
sponsored
number with us.
by someone. I'm not sure this. You can, under the E-code, on the signs, it says you can have one sign coming into, entering Marshfield.
Right.
That's it.
So he needs to come in and talk to you.
It's kind of like the billboard idea, you know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
they're not big like billboards, but there are rules with billboards, they're commercial advertising. So it's commercial advertising
So, in
in neighborhoods, basically. So I don't know that people would want that.
I don't think so. You go, Andy. Andy says it's a good point. She's not for this.
Then that's all we need to know.
But I'd want to hear from him, he should be able to do his proposal, he created it. I'd like to hear him give it, you know. Maybe he has plots of them.
But what happens if a sponsor says, I no longer want to sponsor this sign?
Well, those are questions he's gonna have to answer.
Yeah, so we
he's
need
gonna have
to-
to come back, and I told him he may have to, so.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so we can pass over on this
We
and
can pass over.
we'll just get more information in the future.
Yeah.
Okay. So, let's go on to, if we have the trails people, is the trails people here now? We can go early if you want,
Yes. and-
unless you want to wait till 6:30.
Well, I'm not part of the recreational trail committee, I'm a volunteer for the committee, I'm a trail
Okay.
ambassador.
So is
I
Ned
would-
coming at
I
6:30?
would expect him to be here.
So we'll hold
Wait.
So if you wait, yeah, if it's
Okay,
best to
I will
wait.
hold.
There he is.
Oh, there he
There he
is.
is.
I thought we were on 6:30, sorry.
That will run-
That's okay, I got a seat up here for you. Ned.
Awesome.
Come on up front.
Sure. Okay. So you want to do a presentation about walking trails?
Yeah, so, this is so with the Recreation Trails Committee, we have our trail ambassadors, the ones that go out on the different trails in town, perform the easy maintenance of the trails, interact with the public. We have 50 trail ambassadors that we email every week. From that, we have about 22 right now that come out and get some work done. So we also look at some new trail possibilities in town, and the nice thing about the trails, there are many trails that were once very active, but they kind of fell into disrepair, so now we're bringing them back. And we're working on a couple with the Taylor property, which is across from Eversource. We have Holly Hill is another one that we're looking at. And was it
7:15.
715 Main Street, which on the other side, on the Forest Street side, it's where there's a sign for the cross-country team, girls team. And we're we're partnering a lot with Conservation. Conservation goes out with us to take the initial walkthrough to see what wetlands, what we can use. They really like this property. The other group that we work with is the Wildlands Trust. They're down in Plymouth headquartered, but they have, I think, 4 properties in Marshfield. They hold the conservation restrictions, the CRs, on many properties in Marshfield, and they have the expertise in it, and that we're looking to partner with on staff trainings. So CPR and first aid, how to confront an angry person on the trail, how to diffuse that, plant IDs, basically building a trail, what to look for, map and compass, all that stuff that Mark does with GPS that more of us can be more proficient at. So one of the things that we brought up with Wildlands Trust was this property on that we looked at it on Forest Street, and it has should have brought some smaller copies of this, but it has a great opportunity to connect with the high school cross-country team, the middle school cross-country team, and just people that walk and bike in general through the trails, whether it's by themselves or with their dogs. And it keeps people on a loop within the Furnace watershed that is off the street. So we all look for places that we can walk safely. Marshfield's a very, very busy town, we know that, especially in the summer. Number of sidewalks, we could always double or triple the number of sidewalks through it. And this gives us a chance to get some exercise, explore an area, and stay off the road. Several of the trails, as Mark looked at, have been used in that area. And when Mark scouted out, he took advantage of the existing trails that we want to improve back there. So it's about half.
There was a map submitted to the committee a week or two ago. Is it in your package? I don't know if it helps.
We don't have any
I don't see
document.
anything.
We don't have any document.
Okay.
So Ned, is this watershed land or is this conservation land?
So it belongs to the Board of Public Works, and Conservation does not own it. They support the efforts to enhance the existing trails that are there. So we may have fewer trails, but they'll be in better condition with wayfinding, trail markers so people don't get lost in there. Then we'll do another map and a kiosk like we have at several places around town. You might see the wooden structures, the high school building construction class built them for us. And they also install it. And then we have a woman that designs the maps for us and puts them up.
So are you talking about
So,
one area or more than one area?
so I can, if you want, I can show
I'd like
you
to
this up to the board. So, Forest Street, just to orientate you.
Flatten it, that's okay.
Where's
I don't
School
see it.
Street?
School Street is down in this area, off this map. So we're not near School Street. This is up near the high school, and where there's a put-in. Mark, if you wanna come up
Where's Willis Pit?
over here?
So is this not going to go through Willis Pit?
No, it is not. It stays right in this area up here.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so corner of Forest and Furnace.
Right.
About 10 acres of land here. The sand pit's right here. Cross-country sign is approximately right about here. You go into the sand pit, and then last spring, the trail committee cleared the old Sherman's Way to extend this path, but it was one way. So the idea that the committee had was to connect and make another loop here to this town. It's woods
Is there
right now.
anything, is there any old trail there that you're
Yes,
gonna?
this top line is an existing trail, a little bit overgrown, but it's an existing trail, and that does continue, and it dumps out in the parking lot of the Masonic Temple. But the idea was to just do a little switchback, make it a little bit longer, instead of just connecting straight to Sherman's Way. So it has about a half mile of trail.
So you're gonna take this one,
Take this existing one.
you're clearing it out.
Yeah, it's
And
clear,
then-
and then this would be blazing a new trail.
Okay, that was my
Connect to
question,
Sherman's
because
Way.
this orange line
Correct.
is kind of what you're gonna do, but this part doesn't exist right now?
Correct, these loops.
Okay, and so you drew it like that because that's the way
I
that
just,
you're gonna? Design it, or-
I walked it and tried to find the clearest.
Oh,
way to do
did
it.
you tap, did you like on your phone? you,
Yes,
like,
yes.
to
And like
Craft
the-
your,
yes.
yes, I get
So,
it, yeah.
Just walked it and kind of find where it was,
Where you thought it would go
Correct.
between trees and stuff?
and made one decision, instead of going straight down, why
Yeah.
not try to make it a little bit,
How long is it?
half mile.
And we also took in fact, there are some older trails there that we could take part of, and when we walk through.
Oh, okay. Just like old trails that just, there's
This-
a little
this
bit of
one was
trail that
the- yeah,
doesn't
this-
go
this-
anywhere?
This one
Yeah.
is pretty, this one itself, like, you could still walk it today.
No.
But then the other trails might have been either old, older trails.
These are owned by the town or somebody else?
So this is,
It's all town.
It's all watershed.
It's all one, yes.
That's all woods right
this was
now,
all taken, this
right?
is.
This,
that's
Basically,
parcel
where
of
you're-
town.
yes, correct.
That's all wooded?
Yes, it
It's all
is.
So-
watershed.
You don't take down any trees to,
No.
you're just clearing brush.
Correct.
This is walking, no power.
Walking.
All along.
So that, and we realized,
No
or we
bikes.
respect the town, that the town does not have any, as of this date, any trails for motorized vehicles, whether it's bikes, mopeds, whatever. There's no place in town that it's legal to do. Not to say people aren't doing it, but it's not legal to do. And this would be designed for people walking.
Just walking.
Yes.
Okay, so no, all
No,
right.
no motor.
How wide?
No,
Do you think?
It would probably be,
2 to 4 feet. Like to have it as wide as maybe 2 people walking together, but not a whole group walking, side by side.
So you don't bring anything in, right? You're just
just clearing it.
clearing brush, grading it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Weed whackers, little hand saws, those types of things we
Right.
use quite a bit.
Where's the parking?
Parking would be along Forest Street.
On the street?
The
Correct.
majority of the people parked in the, what's it called, the old, what it's called, the old street that runs to the
Yeah.
place where you dump the big
The stump,
logs.
near the stump dump.
Use
The stump dump.
Oh,
Yes, that's where the majority of people are walking the sand pit area.
okay.
As you go by here any afternoon, you'll see cars parking along the side for
On the
sports.
soccer field.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah, okay.
So this wouldn't be anything new or different where people weren't parking already.
You said there would be a put in somewhere? Like, so the
So,
trail
well-
beginning marked would be where?
Yeah, so by where the cross-country sign is, it would have, the entrance is, it's probably 6 or 8 feet wide. Then there's a trash barrel, a bench, and a picnic table here. And we would head in on the right, and it would be smaller, no more than, we don't need any more than 4 feet wide. And it's not gonna be stone dust or anything like that, it's just using the natural ground that's there, clearing and cutting and blazing. And then we'll have trail markers that we'll put up that people will follow to get them from point A to point B, like we have right now.
Sounds good, then. Yeah.
And the nice thing about it with so many trails that we have right now in Marshfield, that we're looking to spread them out around town. So you're not having the problem if you only have a few trails, you have a lot of people walking on the same trail. If you have more trails, then the same number of people can come out, but they will spread out amongst the trails. We have probably the most, when people visit, is when we bring our trail ambassadors out there on Tuesdays. Right now, we go from 9 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock. We may have 20 people, we may have 15
Did you do like a
cars.
tour,
So,
right?
so I'm glad that you brought that up.
trail maps, it's clear the trail.
Yeah, but don't you
Yeah.
guys
Oh,
have
yeah.
trips? Yeah, you do the little trips.
So this
Yeah.
is for you guys to post here because,
Okay,
you know,
thank
we
you.
we can get some of the staff, maybe that might want to get out and see a trail. We had our first walk last Thursday. We had 15 people with us.
Good.
And we do a little bit history, a little bit of tree plant identifications, a little my history with it, with the rec department of the trails, so we just kind of tie that all in. And for the first walk, we took advantage of Greg Guimond, the town planner, was very big on trains and where they go and how they went. And Cindy Castro, who, in addition to the beaches, belongs to two of the historical societies in town, and gave a whole update on the Pratt Farm, what they did, how they worked, salt marsh hay, the little factory that they had there. So and then we tied in the library. We had the librarian that does adult services, Erica, with us, and we're using the libraries, really partnering with the library as well, using their registration program to do online and walk-in registration. There's no cost for any of these walks.
Yeah.
It's all free. It's just to get people out there. Some people don't want to go out by themselves. Some people don't want to, they're afraid if they go out by themselves, they may get lost, you know, and they don't know anything maybe about the conditions of the trail. So if they come out with a group, all it's costing is their time to come out. And they're learning. They're learning a little history, learning, you know, trains went here, the bridge is over this, how did Kevel Bridge get its name? And so it's good. So this is our first series, and if the next 3 walks are as successful as the first one, then it's something that we'll look to run year round.
What is it, how long is it? I guess it depends on how fast
About an
people
hour
walk.
and a half.
Right?
Yeah.
An hour and a half.
We allot 2 hours for it.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, last Thursday was just around an hour and a half.
Yeah.
A lot of questions. We had 2 people that are new to Marshfield within weeks, and they saw this and then they signed up. So they were learning a whole bit, you know, about the town and what it was like in the old days.
Neat.
Yeah. So it's good.
Very cool. Okay. Yeah, so
Sounds
you
good.
can hang.
You wanna make a
So I'm
motion?
just concerned about water supply land, that we don't need vehicles, we don't need bikes, mountain bikes. If it's just straight walking.
Yep.
I have a question for the superintendent.
Yes, sir.
Do we need to do anything with the license or anything already?
No, didn't Rod go out with you and look at some stuff?
Rod and Matt came out, looked at 172 South River Street near the Eversource station there that we're looking to have DPW do the grading. We have the money for the materials, and we're looking for the equipment to do that one section.
Okay.
So my question is, water supply land is different than conservation land. And I just want to make sure that if we vote to allow this, which I don't have a problem voting on, I just want to make sure that we're covered from a legal liability basis.
So there's a recreation law that if you don't charge anything for a fee to enter the property to be a part of it, you're not getting sued for it. And that was established first in Vermont, then along the Appalachian Trail, because folks were hesitant to give easements, allowing people, hikers, to walk through. So we've been very, very successful with these walks. Part of the training that we have with the Wildlands Trust has been CPR and first aid. We also do that with the fire department with Stop the Bleed. And the other thing that came up with is, so the maps that we have, we're in the process of laminating those. So the fire chief wants a set we'll have at each one of the stations. So if someone gets lost in one of the sections of town, they can pull out the map, in theory, and kind of have a better idea where the spot. So we think it's a great idea. We'll talk to police as well. If, Sean, you think it's a good idea, we can make a set, you know, for DPW to look at it anytime if you want. So just, you know, get more people's eyes out on the trails. And we're not asking for any money to do anything. We have our trail ambassadors who will do the work. And we'll provide another training period for Wildlands Trust to help train our volunteers from a level 1 to a level 1A to a level 2, depending on the trainings that they take.
So
What other
no
questions?
gas laws or anything?
There may be some that we use from time to time on larger logs that have fallen on the ground, which would be consistent with what we have in conservation. Our group, our trail ambassadors, will take care of the little stuff. If there's something that's more technical, there's a tree that's hung up, we'll snap a picture, send it to Mike. He will talk to one of the rangers that he has, Dave McDonald. He'll come out and assess and remove the problem tree or branch that's there.
Do you have on your kiosk sign that no motorized vehicles are allowed in the trail?
I'd have to.
Especially for the water
Yeah,
We do,
I'm pretty sure. I'd have to.
we do. We put the signs up.
You'll put their signs up?
Yeah?
No, I mean in the design of the sign.
Yeah, I
Does it
believe.
say that on the sign?
If it's not there already, I believe it does, because we talked about horses, bikers, and walkers or joggers. And on several of the signs, like on Ferry Street, there are signs that say no motorized vehicles.
Anywhere in the water area.
It does?
Mhm.
Okay.
Question. They shouldn't have one. Okay. Sounds good, Ned.
Cool.
And if you ever want to come out on the trail,
I just might. I don't
You
know if I
know,
can do tomorrow.
we'd be glad to take you up on it.
Oh, I have to go to the information section at the high school tomorrow.
Do we need
So I
a vote?
cannot
So we
join the
don't have
walk,
to
but
put it-
maybe in
We're
August.
not putting it right in, Sean?
I don't think so, Bob.
Okay.
What's a motion, Bobby?
Huh?
You need a motion to approve?
Yeah, make a motion.
Motion that we accept Ned Bangs' detailed map for the new trails off of Fire Street.
I would like to revise that.
Go ahead.
I would accept Ned Mads' proposal for reestablishing the trails. It's not new, reestablishing the trails
Okay.
on existing trails that are already there, and no new trails will be.
Some of it is
One
new.
piece
No,
of
some
it
of it
is
is
new,
new.
just to
He said some
clarify.
of it is new.
It's connecting two existing trails, connecting them together to make a loop. So there is a small.
Oh, there is a new, okay.
There is a small portion.
But they're not taking down any trees.
Not taking any trees, okay. Fine.
That's why it was so zigzag.
So
You
that-
walk
that
between the
motion-
trees.
That's
Yeah.
motion
Right.
very confusing.
Exactly.
So, we'll just keep it simple.
Do we have a second?
We accept Ned Banks' proposal.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 There you go, Ned.
Thank you very
Thanks.
much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Ned.
Right.
Thank you. Oh, how you doing?
Sorry about confusing the issue.
No worries.
Okay, so let's go on to, can we go to item number 2 first?
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about the agricultural group, horses owners to continue bringing manure to the transfer station with no fee. We had a major discussion on this,
2 times.
12 months ago, or longer.
It was a-
And then we actually had a discussion that we needed more information.
Right, we
So,
did the presentation.
Since Mr. Ryan is here, and the trails people, I mean, have the agricultural committee, let's hear what you have to say.
So we met in front of you a year ago and then again 6 months ago. And Ken and myself and sometimes Sean and sometimes some other AgCom members and sometimes some other farm or animal owners participated in the meetings. And we did a lot of brainstorming and a lot of situational opportunities. And so back in December, we asked for an extension because to implement any of these items, March, April, May was kind of the key time zone. It turns out that the problem isn't so much that there's manure or animal, livestock manure at the transfer station, but rather that the volume of all of the compost that's there, which has some animal manure mixed in, but that is a small proportion of what's in there, it's not going out as fast as it needs to. So we came up with a lot of ways to help move that out. And I think once you can get that moved out in greater quantity, you got space to move, a lot of things you can do. One of the ideas, and I think it's something that DPW and the board should consider, is if DPW owned a manure spreader, you could use that, and I call it a manure spreader because that's what they are called, but it's for compost, spreading compost as well. You could spread the compost on fields, cemeteries, church lots, wherever you wanted. And you could get rid of a lot of that compost that's built up and reduce your costs for fertilizing and say all in one motion. Now, I believe, I did look up manure spreaders because I'm looking for one for myself actually to use on my property. And I was looking at getting a grant for that. I did look into trying to get a grant for it for the town, but it turns out municipalities are excluded from the grant. Now, it may be that you may be able to talk to MDR and kind of get that changed. The grant has to do with soil improvement and ecological, like composting specifically. So it fits very well, and it may be because you're doing it with the intent of helping all farm owners, that you might be able to word it in such a way that you could end up getting a grant to cover 80% of the cost of the manure spreader. I don't think it's huge capital compared to a lot of the other kinds of equipment you have, so maybe that's not worth the effort of trying to do that.
May I jump in real quick? So we pretty much have done everything you said. And we're using a lot of the compost mixed in, the manure mixed in as well, up on the cap.
Yep.
We're filling in all the voids and the grass grows right through. We're putting a nice thin layer across a lot of areas that they can't mow because it's wet and there's voids.
Mhm.
So that's why we said, you know, the amount of material you folks bring in, it's not really accumulating. We're getting rid of it as soon as it comes in. So we just decided to keep going the way we're going. And correct me if I'm wrong, Ken, in saying what I said.
No, absolutely, that's correct.
And we will use it on different places because it grows really well,
Yeah.
the grass. So that's why we decided to just let things go the way they're going and when just keep getting rid of it as much as we can. And we put a big dent in it already.
Excellent, excellent. And
You're
another-
talking about all the compost, not just the manure.
Yes.
Okay.
And the manure gets mixed in with the rest, and it actually helps accelerate the breakdown
And it's not a
process.
it's not a large amount you're bringing in. So it works right into what we're doing, so.
So anyhow, just after our last meeting, Ken gave me a call and said that DPW is going to propose not charging anymore. So I wanted to come forward. I said, well, the board is the ones that approved the charging to begin with. The board probably needs to approve not charging.
So what are we charging?
We didn't approve
And
charging, we.
You did March a year ago.
Yeah, we did.
You were looking into it.
Oh, we,
Yeah.
Did we
I
put it on
thought we
hold
just
before
voted
we
for a
charged?
moratorium until it
No,
was
no,
figured out.
there was a charge, and then I came forward and we voted
Oh,
for
okay.
a waiving of the fee.
Right.
Now I'm asking for a moratorium. And what I'd like to include in there is that should in the future there be a need to start charging for animal manures, that the Agricultural Commission be notified well in advance so that we can, avoid another one of these year-long
Yeah.
things, so that we could work together. We are still working to help, I don't know if you still need it now. We found a farmer in Duxbury who is taking some of the manure from,
We've taken it.
from Furnace Brook Farm.
Yeah.
Not sure how long he can do that. He's building a permaculture, which utilizes manures to help create farm.
I would use that as your secondary choice. Right now, what we're doing is working well.
Okay.
Keep going, it's, keep going.
Well, this wouldn't be for what you have, it's for just what Furnace Brook has.
Gotcha.
So it's small quantities compared to what you're talking about. So anyhow, I'm just requesting that we follow what Ken and Sean have come up with. I think it's great, we've kind of gotten past the initial issues that were preventing this from happening. Dropping all the fees for livestock manures, and I just would like to see that if it ever comes back up, that the Agricultural Commission be notified before it goes to a vote, so that
Yeah, you can come in.
we're
and
communicating,
discuss.
that's all.
Work together.
So I have real concerns about biosolids. I'm just-
So
That's
you,
right, I have real concerns about, where the stuff is coming from, because it's not controlled when it comes in, what biosolids are, and where it goes. Now, if you move following the PFAS issues in Maine, a lot of farms have been totally destroyed by spreading biosolids, which includes manure, because the PFAS, because it's not controlled or where it's coming from. A lot of it's coming, I'll qualify that, some of it's coming from wastewater treatment plants, right? So it needs,
Almost all of
so
it.
we need to be careful. All I'm just saying is, we need to be careful and cautious of what we take, what comes in, where it comes from, in a controlled manner, and where we spread it. Putting it on top of a landfill there's other stuff that's already in the landfill, is one thing. But putting it on top of a watershed is a whole different issue. So I'm just cautioning, just making my feelings known. I don't have a problem with, continue our moratorium and not having any fee. And, because this whole PFAS thing is we're on the advent of it. I just want to make sure that what comes in is being controlled, where it comes from, that kind of stuff. So that's what, and I rely on staff to let us know what's happening.
I believe it's only coming from Marshfield, that you're not letting any other towns bring it in.
That's correct.
And I've actually never heard of animal manures containing PFAS. It's only wastewater treatment.
Depends what the fee is, too.
You don't feed PFAS.
No, I get that, I get it. No, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
it's considered biosolids.
Yeah, well,
And being the water commissioner, along with the other two water commissioners, and the many hats that we do wear, is that we always have to be concerned about where we put stuff and where it is in relating to where the watershed is.
and that fits exactly where the livestock, the stables are actually near watersheds.
Right.
And so having a controlled place to put it fits in with that, so.
So, what's staff's recommendation?
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
I think that what I'm confused about, I wasn't in favor of the fees, increased fees. Just FYI, but I think that happened before I came on board, and like the first time I stepped into this was when you did your presentation, and I just wanted the background on those fees, if you could. I think I had it put in the agenda. Like, what were the fees based on? Just because I don't know what the background was on that, what they were based on to begin with, or why they were gonna be raised. In case it ever comes up in the future.
Yeah, the fees were just based on, we don't take any other commercial waste that isn't charged.
Okay,
So
so
they
that,
were-
I don't think that answers my question though. So, for example, like what other kinds of, like what did you base that fee against?
Against other commercial entities.
Like
Because
at the
these
same
farm-
rate?
Yeah,
Or,
actually, it was at a lesser rate, because at the time, we were raising the commercial rate.
okay. All right, so what was the rate that they were paying and then gonna pay? Does anybody remember?
0, and then to 200 per ton.
Because there was no fee.
Right.
And then there was gonna be a fee.
Yes.
That's what happened before I came in.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So, so there was no fee, and then there was gonna be a fee of, how much was it?
200.
200 per ton.
Oh,
And a load is about 4 tons because it's pretty heavy stuff.
oh, right.
It's not as much volume as it is
It's
weight.
poop.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
So I'll go back to my question, what's staff's recommendation?
And staff's recommendation is to continue not to charge.
Yeah.
Okay. Till when?
No, just no fee.
No fee.
No fee? It doesn't make sense to us?
No.
Okay. So,
And what about Laura's request? That if that were to change in the future?
We have emails.
Yeah.
That we know,
Okay.
just to notify the AgCom. You know, it might not be me on the AgCom at that point, you know. Hopefully. I've been there a long time.
so,
You know, hopefully it'll be a long time before anything like this happens.
Make a motion, Bob.
okay. So I'll make a motion to continue the practice of not charging for animal manure at the transfer station. And if something changes, staff will allow us to know, and also the agricultural committee.
I'll second that.
Wait a minute.
All in favor?
Can I change
Oh,
one
yeah,
word?
go ahead, I want to.
Want you to change one word. I wouldn't call it animal manure. I would call it livestock waste or manure, because you don't want dog poop going in there.
Okay, yeah, we don't want to. Right, okay.
Livestock.
Livestock. There a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. But I'm very concerned about biosolids and that whole issue of PFAS. There's a lot of farms in Maine
They're
are non-existent. People have gone way out of business and, you know, lost their houses, mortgages, everything.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare,
It is.
you know. And it's the same thing we're doing with the 40B. I mean,
Yes.
wastewater, the Title V says you can do it, but 21E and others say you can't. The regulations haven't come up to, we're not quick enough, so just very cautious on that. Okay,
You all set?
It's always
That's all
easier
set.
to
Thank you.
prevent than to
thank you.
fix.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Take care of your livestock.
We'll bring them right in for the next meeting.
So does this mean that you've also answered your black earth composting
No.
questions?
No, do you want to stay for that?
I'll
Are you interested?
Boy,
Well, that's a discussion, yeah.
That's a
that's a
discussion.
discussion. Let's go through, let's go number 3, drain layer license renewal.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sean?
I'm good with it. I read it before. I'm gonna find it here.
All right, so I make a motion to authorize approval of renewal for drain layer license for Leo Costello Jr. of Costello Contracting.
Second.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay.
Aye.
So then we can go back to item number 1. We need the board to Rod, actually, Sean, why don't you take this one to explain, because you talked to town council.
We're talking about the.
Number
minutes.
1, item number 1, the action item for vote to accept the minutes that were not presented to the board during the transition between secretaries and superintendents.
So in your packet, you have a copy of the handwritten minutes that Tom took during the transition. So apparently they weren't recorded or posted properly, and we had a complaint filed against us from Mr. Darcy. And I was instructed that we need to answer that complaint in writing with a letter, and those letters are in your packet as well. One to Mr. Darcy and one to the Attorney General. And what we're looking to do is to vote on those minutes that were missed, and also you three vote on the letter I wrote.
Where's the letter?
It's in your packet.
Send the Under 3.
Oh,
Looks
back
like-
here, sorry. Oh, there it is.
4.
Okay.
So I'm looking for you three to vote on this, so we can, Amy, myself, and Anne Marie can get the notes all transcribed and typed and posted. But in the meantime, we can vote on the minutes I have here, and also vote on the letter we're going to send to the Attorney General and Mr. Darcy to put this to the rest.
Okay.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Mr. Darcy could have asked for those minutes even though they're not approved.
I
You-
have comments on this.
You could actually ask for the minutes before we vote on them as a draft. That would have satisfied you. Go ahead.
So the letters are good. I'm hoping that this just puts an end to this complaint.
I hope so.
Okay,
think
so
so.
I do have comments on this because I was quite surprised by it for a couple reasons. So I met, I'm sure that you remember when I was gonna have a meeting with Lynn Fiddler, and we were talking about indirects and the budget. So there was some questions that, it was kind of a group, were you here that, or was it Dan? I think it was Dan was here at that meeting, I don't know if
I
he
was here.
Anyways, you guys know I was gonna meet with her like the next day, so, and I had those questions for her. So in her meeting, so on May 14th, it was on Zoom, in our meeting, she asked me about the missing minutes. She said, twice she asked me at the beginning and then at the end of the meeting, why we had meeting minutes missing. And so I said, oh, that must have been when we didn't have a secretary. And Tom was writing the minutes. So she then asked me if I could look into finding those minutes, which I just kind of said, because I would be a really bad secretary, and I'm not a secretary, and I'm a commissioner, so I didn't answer that. She then told me that I'm just paraphrasing. She said she reads the minutes, she's read all the minutes, and she reads the minutes because she uses all the board's minutes to keep herself up to date on what's going on. So that was May 14th. So now a month later, and I explained to her where I believed the minutes, why they hadn't been posted. But I had seen them being taken. So now a month later, we have this complaint. So it just seems very strange to me that Lynn asked me about the minutes a month ago, and now Mr. Darcy's made a complaint on the minutes. I'm wondering if this came up at a select board meeting for them to be talking about that. It just seems a coincidence to me. But also, I have noticed at different times on the website, when I've looked for minutes for different boards, that there's, kind of always minutes missing. So I did a little research and just going in alphabetical order, starting with the Airport Commission, who has no minutes posted from November 2023 to February 2024 with agendas posted. They're missing 7 minutes. Advisory Board are missing 9 minutes with no minutes since January of 2024, agendas posted. Board of Health, the last minutes they posted were July of 2023 with agendas posted. They're missing 10 minutes. Capital Budget Committee with agendas posted are missing 7 minutes since 2023. The CPC with agendas posted are missing 4 minutes with none posted since February of 2024. Concom with agendas posted are missing 3 minutes since April of 2024. Recreation Department with agendas posted are missing 10 minutes and have not posted any minutes since March of 2023. So there's definitely more. I mean, I just kind of went through quickly and took those numbers down. I find it really disturbing that we have this complaint when we have a legitimate reason why the minutes weren't posted, and I told Lynn what that was. And if you look at all, those numbers, I mean, this is going back, some of them a year, over a year, with no minutes on some boards. Why are we being targeted for these missing minutes when we had no secretary and a superintendent trying to wrap up his service
I don't
and get
have an
ready
answer
for
to
the
that.
new one? I'm really, really unhappy about that. And I find it very strange that the two select board members both brought it up within a month of each other. And that's what I have to say about it. But thank you for writing the letters and taking care of that.
So, very good, Diane.
Well, it sounds like there's so many minutes missing, I think there's an hour at least there.
What?
You're missing an hour.
More than an
I think-
hour.
And most of those committees are
Appointed by the select.
appointed by the select people.
Yeah, and they don't have their minutes.
So, yeah.
And that's not all. I mean, I kind of ran out of time in my research.
So, unless we as a board want to file a complaint against the select people, then do we really want to go into a fight on that? Asking them, there's so many minutes missing, we've counted at least an hour and a half. We should just reply to what we got. And I'm not a fan of Mr. Darcy at all. And he's not he might be a nice person, but I've seen him in action at town meeting and belittling capital budget committee members on the floor of town meeting, which I really didn't appreciate. Because we're all volunteers and we're all trying to do the best for our town. And we don't need to get beat up because we're trying to do a good job. And
That's well said.
That's where I'm coming from. So,
No, I'm not
I see
suggesting
it-
we
I
get
see
into
it,
a
yeah.
battle over it,
No.
but I wanted to make a point that I feel we were targeted over this.
oh, we are targeted.
And I think it's wrong.
It's against John, it's against you, it's against the issues of, a number of different projects that came up with the issue of down at Harbor Park, the whole issue, they were looking for an opportunity to zing you. So, I think, in my opinion, I think we just vote on the minutes, get them, and vote them as draft, because we need to have them written, final transcribed.
Temporary, yes.
Yeah, and that we send the letters out. I accept John's motion to have them as a draft.
Yeah.
And then we vote the finals when we get them transcribed.
Now, after you vote, I'm gonna send these letters out, they're all ready to go, Karen's got them. I'm gonna send them out tomorrow. You got the answer to the complaint by Friday. I want to get this wrapped up today, which has worked out in our favor.
Yeah.
Okay,
Great, thanks.
all right. Any other comments before I make a motion?
Go ahead, Bob.
So I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as listed in your letter, February 27th, July 10th, August 7th, September 11th, September 28th. There was an item that says October 10th, but there was no meeting, so there should be no minutes. October 16th, May 13th, and May 20th, we already voted on at the last meeting. So just those minutes that we have not voted on are in the, to accept those minutes as draft until such time that we get the typewritten transpired minutes back to us. So we'll vote for the transpired ones in a future meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unnecessary, completely unnecessary. Now, you had a question.
It was just a comment. I know that you went and looked at some of the other commissions, and something to keep in mind is you can have a posted agenda, the meeting can get canceled or not have a quorum, and then you don't have a meeting, so there wouldn't be any minutes. I know that we have had that happen probably 6 times in the past 2 years. So, just something to keep in mind.
No, you're right, that's one of the 10th of October.
That's the
There was no
one,
meeting.
yeah, where we had the 10th, we didn't have a
Okay.
meeting.
Yeah, but it was very childish.
And let's have a discussion on the Black Earth composting costs and manure management for the transfer station.
Yeah, so Black Earth, she contacted me in March, and I sent it to Ken and Sean, and we talked about it. And it wasn't something that they felt like the town could, afford to get involved in. So it kind of got dropped, and I was dealing with other things. I did at the time ask this representative from the company if they had a manure program, because we were dealing with that, and they didn't. So she actually had emailed me and then called me over the last couple of weeks to let me know that they connected with a facility in Wareham that takes manure, and that they could potentially work something out for us, but it seems like that's handled. So there would be no reason for anybody to spend money on sending it to Wareham. However, I think that this program is really good. It obviously would be the resident program initially, like that's not gonna cost the town any money. But they have a lot of really good ideas on marketing it, and they'll even do webinars and stuff, so I don't know if you guys have read through this. She said that they need 100 to 140 residents to buy into this to be able to service the town, and that it doesn't cost us any money. So I think, it's an important thing for us to at least begin with that, at least try to help get this marketed, because at some point we're going to need to make it part of our entire system. So we might as well get people in it now that, So did you guys read that? Do you? And she also could do, they have webinars, we could watch one.
So
Or have one.
So they would come and collect compost from.
So they do all, so if we just advertise it, so,
That may work. Yeah.
she has ideas, so how to market and increase participation. So we can send emails, social media posts, press releases, add the information to the details to the website, the Facebook page. We can send out a mailer in the water bills. Obviously that would cost something. Farmers Market can do tables if they have material to display at the farmers market tables if they're interested in doing a table.
What is the actual service?
Oh, so, okay, well, I'm sorry, I thought you knew. I don't know why I thought you knew. Maybe I thought, she has 65 households already interested in it. So it's a composting service that they can either do through the town or they do individually
Food
with
waste?
people.
It's food
Yeah.
waste, yes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
right. Oh, I'm sorry, is that not, that's, yeah.
So we used
I'm
to.
new with this, so I
when we
thought
were-
that wasn't understood. That was
Back in the
food waste.
50s, you used to have, you used to have
We used to have
solid
garbage.
food waste separate
Yeah,
than trash.
yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
So if, the question I have is, do you want the town to put this in our website saying it's available if somebody wants to do it?
Yeah, I think we
You
should
want
participate.
You want the town to put, sponsor something or just make it available? Because we don't want to be getting into a management issue of
No.
compost.
No, and these gentlemen have already explained that we can't afford to participate in it as, buying into any of it. But they have a lot of ideas for marketing that we could do, that would help people sign up. What do you want to say? You don't have to raise your hand.
Well, I don't want to interrupt. So I have spoken with them as well.
Okay,
On
good.
our conversation. So, yeah, they're a commercial company that sees a good opportunity to get into composting. Because when you look at your solid waste and you recycle as much as you can, and if you want to meet the goals that the DEP established, you need to do more. You got to keep doing more and more and more. And wasted food is a big portion of the trash that's collected. So they're looking at this as a great business opportunity. So they started very small on the North Shore, and they're actually all over Massachusetts now. They've got like 4 sites right now. They're always looking for more sites. They do, basically they sell you a bin. It's like the recycle barrels we have. It's a mini one. I mean, it is a tiny little one. It's very cute. It's like
Yeah,
a
13 or
13
4 gallons.
Yep, so that's a 13-gallon one. And basically, each resident would then separate their food waste throughout the week and put it in the 13-gallon, and now you'd have 3 barrels at the curb. You'd have your trash, you'd have your recycling, and you'd have your organic compost. Then they come and do a route. In order for them to dispatch to a route, that's why they're saying they need a certain amount of sign-ups. I think I had 68 people pre-registered. They're pre-registered because we actually have them on our website. That's how people have found out about it. They're saying basically, when you pre-register, there's no cost. So they say they want double the number pre-registered before they reach out to them and say, okay, we have enough interest, let's get people signed up. So what they do is it's a subscription service. You pay $35 roughly to get the little barrel and some liners and things. And then they come around weekly and they pick it up. And it's a little under $20 a month for their service. So a lot of other towns in Massachusetts have done that. They've started the program, as you said, where they're advertising, trying to get people to do it. When they have enough people doing it, then maybe the DPW is contributing towards it to get more people to do it or taken over. I think Brookline took over the operation, and anybody who was a subscriber, they actually said, well, we'll pay for your subscription and get more people involved in it.
How long did it take them to get to that point, do you know?
I do not know, but I mean, I think it's we got to reduce our waste. So
I mean, it's a
great
place to
thing.
start.
It absolutely is.
I have a comment.
Boston does this.
Mhm.
I have a comment. At the recycling center,
Yep.
is there a way that we could provide a space, not in the compost pile, but a separate for food waste?
So they have.
They didn't have that
And
in
then
their
that food waste, they could pick it up.
Yep. So
That way someone doesn't have to pay for, a monthly fee.
Yep, so they have said that as well. So they have totes that they can give. They're more like the size recycling containers we have. And those are like $20 a week per tote. So they thought that,
I'm talking. We have fluorescent lights out there in the area.
yeah,
We have, TVs, we have compost, we have metal collection, we have
Refrigerators.
cardboard, refrigerators. And what I'm saying is, can we have a section at the recycling center for food waste?
and that's what I'm saying, Bob. They do it at other transfer stations, and they set up like a little station where they have like 4 totes set up. So as you drop off this, you drop off that, then you go over and you throw your food waste.
Yeah, but
into
the
that.
person dumping it off doesn't have to pay anything.
Correct. So they would charge DPW
Okay, fine.
How much is the fee for that?
$20 a tote, so $80 a week,
For what?
so that they can come and then pick up those totes and take the material away.
So instead of people
Yeah,
buying a bin
Yeah,
and doing it
yeah, all right.
at their curbs, doing it at their house and having it at their curbside and having this company's truck pick it up, the DPW would have bigger bins at the transfer station, and anybody who wanted to compost their food waste that way, or get rid of their food, whatever,
Sure.
that way, would take it. I wouldn't do it instead of, because I think do you think it's more likely that people would do it at home rather than saving it and bringing it to the transfer station
You need
to
a sticker.
dump it to the, what if
Yeah.
people don't have a sticker that
I think,
don't go there, you know what I mean? Then they're kind of left out of
I think the environmentally conscious people will do it on their own.
Yeah.
with their own little bin,
Yeah.
that they don't have to, they just can put it in the bin, they don't have to hold on to it for
Correct.
a week till they can get to the transfer station.
I don't think Boston charges for this. My daughter's in Boston. I'll.
Yeah, some of the bigger programs,
I'll find out.
The
Because there
DPW.
is a pail outside and
Yeah.
she does the food
Yeah.
inside. And once a week, I think they come by and collect it, but
Yeah.
knowing my daughter, she's not gonna pay for it. No.
But somebody.
find out.
But somebody's paying for it, John, so it's.
Well, I'm
through
talking about the
fee.
homeowners.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
What is the weight equivalent to the trash?
Very
Food
small.
waste.
Oh, interesting question.
Percentage of.
Because if we don't get it in the trash, we're not paying for it in the trash. If we put it in a bin, we're not throwing it out in the trash. Now we're following guidelines from the state saying, you know, we need to get food waste out of our waste stream. So if we provide a component at the transfer station, a lot of people have stickers anyway, so they're going there for a bunch of other stuff. So if we have it available, at least we're showing due diligence from a town's perspective that we're collecting and separating, you know, certain types of waste. I think, you know, I would like to explore the equivalence of, if we're putting in the food waste in the food bucket, we're not paying for it in the trash bucket. And it might, you know, even if it's a little bit more money, at least we're following regulations. I would like to have staff take a look at that and come back to us.
Sure.
Because it could be not a big cost increase to us, it might be built, we're not throwing it out as trash. And we are following through on, they're trying to eliminate, you know, they eliminate mattresses, they eliminate this, eliminate that, they're trying to separate stuff out anyway, so,
I mean, eventually, we're gonna have to do this anyway.
yeah.
Because, so we might as well start it now.
So this is a discussion with this, it's the advent of it.
So would you be willing to come back with which of these marketing ideas you could commit to doing in like a specific kind of commitment to those or schedule for them or whatever? I love the pumpkin smashing event. I think that's a great idea. People are every fall, people are like, what do I do with this pumpkin? And people leave pumpkins on the street and they throw them in the marsh and, you
Yeah,
know.
my only hesitation is how much work do we want to do to help this other business get going?
So, I remember.
Well, a pumpkin smashing event could be a fundraiser. That could be like in collaboration with the Boys and Girls Club or something. But you could tie it into this. Do you know what I mean? So,
Go ahead. We have a question from the audience.
So, two
Yeah.
things. One is if you come up with the materials, I'm more than happy to put it at the farmer's market since I
Great.
am the manager.
yeah,
Second is another concept to get it out of your waste stream and not necessarily be funding someone else's business. If you offered at a significantly reduced price, the home composters that just go in your backyard. Now, not every home in Marshfield would be a good location for that, but there's a lot that people can just put it, it's just a little dome thing, it's about this tall, and you just put your food waste in it and put the lid back on, and it aerates and it rotates, and then you take the stuff out the bottom when you want to put it in your garden. So that would be a way to get all of that food waste out of the waste stream, and you're incentivizing people, but you're making them pay a little bit to get it, so they're not just getting a free composter. So they're making a commitment to do it by having to pay, but not having to pay the $100 that, you know, they typically try to sell them for. So it's just another idea for you.
mhm.
I think that we should explore different avenues and get costs with it.
Yeah, so we do have those advertised on our website as well, and I think they're $70 or $75 or
Okay.
something for those, yeah.
I have one.
But like if you could make it a $25, you know, a special, you know, we're only doing this for 3 months, you know, if you commit to do this, you know, $25 instead of $75. So if there's a buy-in, but it's less money than paying for such service. and it still benefits the waste stream.
Well, I'm concerned about trying to follow regulations. And a lot of stuff is being taken out so that we as a town need to follow, show due diligence that we actually are creating an avenue to actually remove some things that are in food, in the trash. So that's what I was saying, at the recycle center, if we had an opportunity, someone lives in, a mansion down at the beach, only has 2,500 square feet, paying $20,000 for it, but they have no place to put the compost.
Yeah.
And they say give them an avenue to.
And they don't have a garden, because that's gonna be the beach.
One thing is you can't put it on the beach. I mean,
Right, where's it
you
gonna
don't
put
have
it?
a garden, so I'm just saying, if you lived up in the, North Marshfield, and you have, gardens and gardens, it's not an issue, but it's when you get into these tighter lots.
So maybe you're saying combination of things,
Yeah, I think a
Yeah.
combination of different things.
right?
I think it's a good idea to compost. I think it's also good to get those things out of the trash because they are valuable. If you're a gardener, you want compost. I mean, wood chips and composting. But the issue is what's in it? Is it biosol? It's other things that you really don't want in there. So.
So one other thing that I got from her, I think today. So it's a grant from USDA's Composting and Food Waste Reduction Program. Are you aware of that one?
No.
So this one's due by September 4th. Can I just send it to you and you can look
Absolutely.
at it?
Yes.
Because this, I read a little bit of it, but I really don't, I would have to spend a lot more time reading it to really understand what it is, but I think I have your, can I send it to Amy and Amy can send it to you? Because I don't have your email here off the top of my head. Is that okay, Amy? I'll just send it to you? I'll just say for Ken, okay? And I'll send it to Sean. Okay, all right, so, yeah, so that's a grant that's due by September 4th. Okay, so do we want Ken to come back, or and what do you want me to tell these people? Are you gonna talk to her, or what do you wanna do?
Yeah, I'll continue to talk to him. He gave me a lot of information. I told him I'd get back to him. after
Oh,
we-
so I'm working with a woman,
Yes,
Rosie,
yes.
okay.
Okay.
Okay,
So you're gonna let us know what you wanna commit to as far as marketing?
Sure.
Or Bob's
Yeah.
preference? to-
Multi-faceted.
Yeah, I like that as an approach better than directing
No.
directing people
No,
towards
so if
one
someone doesn't want to get
business.
picked up, we'll give them an opportunity, and we also show due diligence to these towns, is trying to get, promoting, taking certain things out of the trash that cost us money because it is heavy. I think manure is heavy, compost, food waste is heavy too. So, so with that, let's go on to the next items. Any further discussion on that?
no, we're fine, Bob, that's good.
Okay, I want to vote to accept the minutes of June 3rd. Is everyone going to take a look at them? They're nicely typed, organized, ready for the web. Comments?
I'm good.
No,
Okay, make a motion to
Good.
accept the minutes of June 3rd, 2024. Have a second?
Look behind you, John.
Oh, where are you?
I have a second?
All in favor, second.
Okay, all in
Andy, will you
favor?
sit down,
Aye.
please, you get me nervous.
All right, the next item is superintendent's report, and I wanted to have the superintendent discuss the issue of next Monday night's meeting, at town meeting. We can have a little discussion on that. Well, next Monday night, we're having the petitions, petitioned to have a town meeting to discuss the 40B bridal bridle path development.
Yeah, with that.
We've had 2 presentations from our consultant saying that the water supply is going to be affected by this wastewater. And that I'm asking the board, what is the pleasure of, should we put a petition, should we put a presentation on and ask the consultant to come and do a presentation at that town meeting?
I don't know. I
I
mean,
don't
would
know.
they do the same thing?
No,
It's gonna be the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't,
I'm just asking a question. I mean, well, as the chair of the Board of Public Works,
Oh.
we've,
Ken and I talked about it, it might be a stretch trying to get him in there.
I was just gonna
It's
say
quick.
that, yeah.
fine.
We're still waiting for the letter, I'm sorry, the reports, we can do a letter, and I have not seen it yet, you?
I have not.
Yeah.
So we can read the letter at town meeting.
You could do that.
yeah, I think something should be said
Yeah.
by you.
Right, I think,
But I think, yeah,
By you.
fine. I mean, I'll just say the same things that we said before.
it would be a stretch to
Yeah.
try and get him in here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Short of a notice.
But I think that we need to have some kind of discussion at town, petitioners have gone to I'm not exactly sure what to say because I'm sort of at ends with about this whole issue. No one's believing us. So I think that, we need to make the final presentation to the Board of Selectmen, the Board of Health. The ZBA's heard us. They don't necessarily agree with us, and their consultants don't necessarily agree with us. But we as water commissioners need to make the final step to say, this is not good for our town and our water supply.
Correct.
So so at next Monday night's meeting, we will read the letter and present the report to the floor of town meeting, saying that this 40B is not a good idea.
It's gonna pollute our wells.
Huh?
It eventually will pollute the wells.
And then have the discussion.
I think your message sounded loud and clear. It has been all along, so I don't think it would hurt to get up and say it one more time.
Yeah.
I mean, we could all have 2 minutes.
You're all
Look at that town.
voters too.
Yeah, so I sent something today, an article about Norton. Did you
Yes,
see
I
that?
did.
Did you see that?
Not that ago.
Hmm?
Not that ago.
It was Norton.
Yeah, it was, it's that, there's a number of them.
Oh, okay.
You're talking several millions of dollars and several years of getting it to that point.
Right.
And, Duxbury's spending $18 million or something like that to put a water treatment system in to deal with the PFAS issue in Duxbury.
Yeah.
And they're so far from us.
Yeah, but Norton's providing a place where the residents can get clean water.
Yeah.
Norton
This
is. That's how
article
bad
right
it is.
here.
That's how bad it is.
They're opened
It
a
is bad.
drinking water station because their well's polluted.
That's right. Right, 'cause
Yeah. Did you see that?
Yes, I saw
I
it.
had Amy.
Not
I sent
that
it to
about the
Amy.
same way, the Cape Cod's the same way. I'm losing my voice when I'm speaking so much. So,
Really.
all right,
Yeah, I think that we could all prepare 2 minutes to say maybe at the, I will, anyway. I know you will.
I will.
Maybe you will.
But,
okay,
all right.
so that's what I had to say, I wanted, Sean, you can do the rest of the superintendent's report.
Thank you. Just a few things. I know a lot of you are aware of the tide gate issue we've had.
Yeah.
It just blew out. We've made, I have to credit Ken, Matt, and Rod, and some others that have made attempts to repair, put a temporary gate in. We finally did that. And it seems to be holding up very well. But we are going to get one of our main contractors, Northern Construction, in to help us put a permanent solution in. And I had talked to the town administrator and asked him where, we're coming to the closing of the fiscal year, and we don't know how much it's gonna cost, and could we get support or some funding? And he said yes, to do a permanent tide gate and fix it once and for all.
Is this based on what Rod presented to us a few weeks ago, a few meetings ago?
Yeah,
Okay, all right, so same thing, same company?
and I'm gonna
Yeah,
let
okay.
Ken take over, because you've done the work over there.
Yeah, I mean, there was a good summary there. I mean, the tide gate fell off, the existing one fell off. I mean, it's been there for 30-plus years, so it
It just corroded,
It did, yes.
right?
Yeah, so it has two brackets, one that attaches to the wall, one that attaches to the door. One of those brackets broke from the wall, one of those brackets broke from the door, and it fell.
Oh,
So it was wide open, we got the calls of flooding, and we
Yeah.
went down and found it was wide open. We immediately shut the one gate we had control over. That didn't do very much, but it did something. Then we
Right.
got a temporary one built and put in there, and that blew out overnight. That didn't last a day. So then we got another one that we built, and we put that one in there, and, well, it kind of moved. But we got it secured back again, and as of the end of last week, that is in place, and the levels have dropped considerably, and they're holding.
it's
So-
just staying closed, it doesn't,
No, because we can't hold back that much water.
oh, okay, so it
right
has to.
now- But we've always had that, because we've always had fresh water going back upriver.
Right, I didn't know if the temporary one you built just stayed closed because
We
it was
would-
more stable or something. I
We
don't
would
know.
have liked that to
Yeah,
happen,
but
but, no. So we
Okay.
have something in there that closes pretty much. We also put stop logs across the front of it
Mm.
to slow down the river.
Mm.
So we've done a number of things, and right now, the water levels are back to before the gate fell off. So we're back where we were, but again, this is a temporary hold, trying to hold back the ocean. So we're working with Northern to get a more permanent solution. And we've taken some of the parts apart from the existing tide gate, where we're gonna rebuild, remachine that, and get that one ready to go back in place. The gate itself is still in decent shape, it was just the hangers, the supports that rotted out, so we want to get it back.
And we're having a tough time finding the pieces.
Yeah. Specialty product. So
We
that's
got
where
it.
we're at.
Wow.
What are we looking at from a financial standpoint on this?
Talking on Rod, maybe a little bit north of 25,000. It depends.
It's a fabrication issue?
What's
That's-
that?
It's a fabrication issue?
It's a fabrication issue, and it's also, they have the ability, the equipment to do it safely.
Yeah.
I don't like the way things are. We have to get help.
Right, no, I get
It's out of
that.
our scope.
You're right.
Right, yeah.
It's the fabrication, it's to control the water so that we can get down there and
And
actually
then
do
getting
the
it in
work.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we have a long-term project slated for
Yes.
this.
To rebuild.
Yes.
Right, so that 25,000 is just for another temporary piece, but made by a company that actually,
I just need the
Does
three,
that.
need the three of you to just say a prayer that we don't get a hurricane before this happens.
is it gonna be that long into hurricane season before they can
We
do
already are
it?
in the hurricane season.
Yeah.
Oh, we are?
Tropic.
Oh,
First.
yeah, but, oh, that's true. I keep thinking it's still April.
It's not,
No, not here.
No, I don't know.
We have a-
I'm in a town
we
war.
have a question.
Eric, I recognize you up in a second. Anything else on the tide gate? Is that it?
That's it.
All right, we're blessed to have Eric Kelly here today, so from the select board.
Thank you, Chair Burgess. Shaughnessy. As Sean was mentioning, pray that we don't have a hurricane. That has got my curiosity. What were we looking at in the worst case scenario if we didn't get a hurricane, this thing wasn't in place?
A lot of water would go into the, what area is that?
The basin.
The basin.
Green Harbor Basin.
Green Harbor River.
And,
It'll come to the downtown.
What do you think would happen?
I don't know, that's why I'm asking.
It would flood.
Big flood,
Yeah.
All the way downtown.
yeah.
Well, the neighborhoods down low, like
Behind
Yeah.
MacArthur and all
Yeah,
those,
yeah,
the
yeah.
the effect.
Yeah.
On the acres.
Yeah,
those-
you know, the low-lying marsh areas.
Right.
Oh, but come up to the police station.
I hope not.
It's
We're
just,
trying to get it done
it's
before.
just a horrific
I mean, it's my Marshfield.
scenario.
So, I recognize Joe Pesevich.
Joe Pasevich, Wilson Road. Well, so when the gate repair is done, is it going to let the estuary Green River water out? And then, I mean, is it going to be,
It'll be operable again, so you can do that. That's
so
the
you
plan.
can't, is it automatically, does it automatically?
No, we have to do it manually.
At low tide?
Which direction are you?
He's down
Outflow.
stream.
During low tide, you're
Outflow,
draining the estuary
yes,
during low tide.
yes. All those gates are flap gates, so they just open automatically.
Okay. And then in high tide, they close.
Yes, except one is adjustable so that we can allow some fresh water up.
Yeah. There are some different fish and eels and things like that that we're supposed to be letting get up the river a little bit.
And the regulators believe that the salt water moving up into the river helps control the Phragmite.
Yeah. Another issue, since I'm on Wilson Road on Plymouth Ave, drainage is getting to be more and more and more of a problem in my neighborhood. And especially if you drive by the intersection of Billings Road and Plymouth Ave. The pavement there is now collapsing. Maybe there's a conduit that is broken down and fallen apart, but there's a divot in the road there that's getting worse and worse by the day. In addition to that, because I believe there are conduits under Plymouth Ave that drain my neighborhood.
You mean culverts, right?
Huh?
Culverts?
There are conduits that pass under Plymouth Ave from the Wilson, Billings, Adams Road area. And some of those conduits may have just collapsed. They may have been concrete. I don't know.
Okay.
But I do know at Billings Road, there is a section of Plymouth Ave that's now just collapsing. The hole in the road, when you hear the traffic going up and down Plymouth Ave, ba-boom, ba-boom, it's getting worse and worse by the day. So
Okay.
something must have given way.
We'll take a look at it.
Plymouth Ave in that area. And it has been excavated not too long ago, and I don't know what kind of work is done. In the meantime, there are culverts running along Plymouth Ave, parallel to Plymouth Ave, that are jammed up with debris. My neighbor took down a stockade fence not too long ago, and took the sections of stockade fence and threw them in the culvert, all right? Next to where the conduit is, a conduit that, since I remember as a boy, in the 60s, there was always a conduit under Plymouth Ave in the vicinity of Billings Road. Those stockade fence pieces were thrown into the ditches along Plymouth Ave, and now they're overgrown with Phragmites and all kinds of stuff. But my yard is turning into a trout pond now whenever there's a heavy rain, and that never happened before. And I've been pleading for over 20 years for those culverts to be dug out or cleaned out, so that water can then flow under Plymouth Ave and get into the Green Harbor River, into the Bass Creek area, Bass Creek area. I went to Conservation Commission and I told them about the dumping of refuse into the ditches. And they looked at it and said they had referred it to DPW. So that's twice that I've been told that by Mike Seal.
So Sean, you gonna take a look at that? Okay.
Like I said, it's getting worse and worse in my neighborhood.
It's probably a carp pond, not a trout pond.
A carp?
Carp.
Carp.
Yeah, carp. It's not, if you had trout,
Well, even the
if you had
frogs
trout
get-
in your
even the
backyard,
even
and
the
it's a
frogs-
salt marsh, it's not trout.
I know, but I'm saying,
I would like to have a trout in my backyard.
even the frogs can't survive there anymore. I
No,
mean, it's
it
gotten
would be
so
more
bad.
carp than it is goldfish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or alligators.
Yeah.
But like I said, all the drainage now from that neighborhood, you know, there's been so much filling and abuse and dumping of waste into those wetland areas. And now people are paving their driveways, which you're not supposed to in a Barrier Beach area, you know?
So,
I'm lucky, my driveway was paved in 1958, so it's kind of,
sorry, we can
It's
go
all
on
right.
for hours.
I know, but
Different
it's really
species of
getting
fish.
bad.
Anything else, Sean?
Thank you.
You're welcome. I have one more thing.
Okay.
Dan Bowen gave us notice today. He got a job in Quincy.
Oh. So how long is this?
About a month.
Oh, boy.
So
All right.
trying to talk him into staying, but we'll see. That's all I have.
Does he
Okay.
live in Marshfield?
Yes, lived up by the high road,
He's been here 10 years.
Ugh.
up by the Fairview.
Well, it's probably a money thing, right?
I think he's working at the Dairy Twist up there.
Oh, come on, listen,
All right, anything else?
no, I'm set.
Any other comments from the floor? Hearing none, I make a motion to adjourn the meeting of June 17th, and we'll see you next week, June 24th at the high school.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
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 thank you.